Hi, I'm Laura Suter and I'm joined by Andy Bell, Chief Executive of AJ Bell. We're here to talk about interim results that were announced today. So first, it was a good set of results, Andy, but I thought it would be good to touch on how the company's dealt with the COVID-19 crisis.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. Our first priority, as with many businesses, was the health and safety of our staff and families. And the first week of lockdown was really all about getting staff working from home. And we've now got probably 80% of staff working from home, with the skeleton staff working in the office, subject to enhanced social distancing and other rules so that we comply with the PHE guidelines. We've not furloughed any staff. We took a view early on. There was probably about 30 staff that we could have furloughed. We decided we took a really point of principle that those schemes, the furlough scheme and other support schemes, weren't really designed for firms like ourselves. So all of our staff have remained fully employed throughout the period, albeit a small number of them have been restricted in what we can do.
And so during this time, has there been any impact on customers or on customer service from the company?
It's been really pleasing that throughout the transition to working from home, and really at what couldn't be a worse time for the business, in the sense that it was just in the run up to our tax year end, one of the busiest tax year ends we've had. We managed to keep a full service throughout that period. Service standards were fully maintained. So we were really pleased that it did put us under pressure, but actually we came through personally what I believe are flying colours.
So the company also launched a charitable initiative called Wage War on COVID. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I think it was really about what we could give back to society. I think that it was our first priority. Once we've got our staff all safe and we knew the business was in a good shape, then again, like many other businesses, we turned our attention to the clear difficulties that people less fortunate than ourselves were finding themselves in. And it really came up from the idea where a few of us at the senior level decided to donate 3 months' salary. We then topped that up with a £50,000 donation from the AJ Bell Trust, through which all of this is being carried out. And then since then, we've had a large number of staff have joined in, and a large number of customers have actually donated, advisors have donated, and you can still, if you go onto our website, you can see an area where donations are still possible. And our focus is very much on a short, sharp, raise some money and make sure it gets to the right causes, all COVID-19 causes. So we've been sending money out to support food banks, quite a big initiative. Where we're getting digital tablets out to nursing homes and hospitals to allow people to keep in touch with the loved ones. And then we've donated quite a large number of smaller donations, where again our CSR committee have felt that there's a need there, and really that need was predominantly driven by COVID-19 issues.
So how has the business performed in these uncertain times?
I think it's been very pleasing. I think we do have a robust business model. As we came to the market, when we listed, we did explain to people that we have different lines of income. Some ad valorem, where it's based on the value of the assets that we hold, and some transactional, and some just pounds and pence, either initial or recurring. So we've been through most economic cycles over the 25 years or so that the business has been going. So in a way, I was pleasantly surprised. And again, I think it needs to be borne in mind that probably the COVID crisis was 1 month out of the 6 months, but nevertheless, I think it was a very strong set of results for the first 6 months. Our revenue was up 22% to 60.9 million. And our profit before tax was up 28% to 22.7 million. So I think in these times, those results would compare favourably to most companies out there.
And so obviously lots of companies are cutting their dividends at the moment. What's been the decision for you on the dividend? Yeah,
it's something that the board talked about and considered quite carefully. I think we're very, very proud of our history, our progressive dividend history ever since we started paying dividends. Our dividends have gone up our ordinary dividends have gone up year on year. And we have a stated dividend policy. So we sort of recognise the caution out there in the industry, but at the end of the day, our shareholders invest in our business because they expect a dividend, and we really couldn't see any reason why we wouldn't pay a dividend. So we did decide to keep just as a small nod to the caution that other firms are showing. We decided to maintain the interim dividend at 1.5p, but we are very keen to reiterate that we have absolute confidence in our stated dividend policy.
So what do you attribute the current financial performance to?
Well, I think as with previous sets of results, the key drivers have been our platform business, AJBL Invest Centre and AJBL U Invest. We've seen, particularly in the direct customer side, AJBL U Invest, we've seen record customer numbers coming through in the first 6 months of the year, but also seen very healthy growth in customer numbers on the advised side, which is AJBL Invest Centre. So I think we're just seeing the sort of growth in the underlying business and the economies of scale that actually delivers to the business. And I'd say particularly on the direct side, on the AJBL U Invest side, I think we've seen whereas our results this year are compared to the first half of last year. The first half of last year was slightly overshadowed by Brexit, which we did seem to have a dampening impact on the run up to tax year end in 2019. It does feel as though this year, whilst clearly at the end of the period we've had COVID-19, it does feel as though there's been a far more positive approach and maybe reaction from direct customers who've been willing to, whereas maybe last year they decided to sit on the hands and not put the ISA subscription or the pension contribution in. It feels like this year got a very different sentiment, and maybe those people who came in at the end of the tax year have seen the added opportunity of buying in at the lower market values, and therefore it's been a very buoyant 6 months for new business, which again is very pleasing. And probably where has that business come from? I would say we've seen more and more referrals now from word of mouth. I think that we're of a scale. I think we've had the benefit of being a listed business and then the PR that brings. But actually, more and more, I think we're seeing the fact that our existing customers are our biggest champions, and they're out there telling their friends and the family, and that makes for very effective acquisition of new customers, which allows us to keep our prices down and maintain our competitive position that we're very proud of.
And so then what's your outlook for the future for the company?
Well, I think it's the same structural growth story that we've always had, and certainly one that we focused on as we listed the business. The demographics, people are living and working longer. Government policy is driving people towards self-provision. The digital age is driving people into technology-based solutions, and there is undoubtedly a savings gap out there that needs filling, and also an advice gap. Not everyone can afford to have an advisor. We're catering for all of those markets. So we are very confident. I think that COVID-19 will undoubtedly play out over many years to come in the sense of the impact on the economic environment. Recession, which is quite likely is going to come along, but it is back to that robust business model that we have. We're not immune to the challenges out there, but I think that we certainly hope it is as well prepared for what's going to come along over the next few years as any business out there.
Thanks a lot for your time today.
Thanks, Lauren.